What's up guys, Nate here. Today we're finally going to do the video on the Deuce and a half and why it's been in the shop. But first of all, let's go ahead and move some cars around. Shit. So we had a slight problem. The hose that actually took off for the carburetor apparently wasn't completely tight, so we got a small fuel drip, so we're going to get that fixed up and then we'll be able to start her up. Well, there you guys go. We moved cars around, and I did just want to point out that the problem with the MG was, let me get the hood open here, the front line, fuel line that goes to the carb somehow got loosened up, because I know I tightened it. It's this right here. This is the one that piggybacks off the back carb, and somehow that got really loose, so I went ahead and tightened that up because we were dripping quite a lot of fuel. So as I turned the key on, and you can hear the fuel pump ticking, and all of a sudden I heard tap, 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 and I was like, that doesn't sound right. And I looked under the car and it was dripping. So went ahead, tightened that up, and it's not dripping anymore. And got the Camaro moved over. And sorry that did take so long, because I just want to point out that these doors are about maybe an inch wider than the actual Camaro itself with the mirrors. So it was a pain in the butt to pull it in this middle bay, and that was just like last winter too. But we got it in here, didn't scratch anything up, so that's always good. I mean, the Camaro, or the MG, you can fit in pretty much anywhere. That thing is so maneuverable. But anyway, that's moving the cars, so let's get to the Deuce and a half. So let's go ahead and talk about the Deuce and a half. Now, first of all, I want to apologize. The heaters are on in here, so it may be a little loud. But basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to talk about why the Deuce and a half was in the shop a few weeks ago, and basically why it's been in the shop before in the year that we've had it. So the first thing is that we bought the truck from through Eastern Surplus. They sell a bunch of military vehicles, and we purchased it through them. The first thing that we did is we had it shipped to them, and they went ahead and put the super singles on for us, and they also put on the air steering. But while they had it there, they found that a couple of the back wheel cylinders were bad, so they went ahead and replaced those two. And after that, they shipped it off to us. Now, we got the truck, it was probably midsummer last year, and when we got the truck, what we noticed is that the fuel injector pump had a really minor drip, really small little drip on it. So, of course, we went ahead and called up someone and see if we could get that figured out. And my dad knows a guy that owns a trucking company here in Toledo, and went ahead and called him, and he said, well, we only work on our own trucks, but one of our employees here owns his own diesel shop, so he can go ahead and take a look at it for you. Now see, that should have been our first warning sign, is that it was a friend of a friend. So we went ahead and gave this guy a call, and he sounded really professional, nice guy, and we went ahead and brought him the truck and said, all right, we just want the fuel injector pump rebuilt. So we went ahead and he said, well, yeah, we can rebuild it, or we can just get a new one. He recommended rebuilding it, so we said, all right, go right ahead. So he ordered the rebuild kit, and I just want to note, this was October 2nd. This was October 2nd of last year, and that's when we brought him the truck, and he ordered the kit. Well, after that, he said, all right, a week later, he originally said it'd be probably 2 weeks. So after the first week, we just called check-in, see what's going on. And he said, well, the kit for the rebuild kit's not in yet, so I don't think it's going to be ready this week. So he said, it's on back order, so there's really nothing I can do. And we said, all right, it's no big deal. So we went ahead, and while he was there, he said, well, what, I noticed a couple other things, like you may want to just do some regular maintenance, like change all the fluids, and put a new clutch in it. And my dad already was thinking about putting a new clutch in it because it was kind of bad. So he said, yeah, go ahead, do all that, do regular maintenance, put a new clutch in it. And went ahead and did that, and I think probably 4 weeks later, we called so many times, he kept saying, it's still on back order, the fuel injector pump rebuild kit, still don't have it, don't know when we're going to have it. And long story short, the guy ended up having it until April 1st. So the guy had it for 6 months. And, at that point in April, as soon as it hit 6 months, we called him and we said, okay, here's the deal. I don't care if the fuel injector pump's rebuilt or not. We're coming to pick it up next week, whether it's done or not. I'm taking the truck. So sure enough, next week, I got the kit, and we got it installed. So when we went down there to go pick the truck up, it was him and his buddy that were working, and it was only him there though. And he said, well, here's the thing, I fired my other employee because he would be saying, he just wasn't a good guy. And we were like, what do you mean he wasn't a good guy? And he said, well, he'd say he'd do stuff, like he'd say, oh, I did this on the truck, and he would never do it. So we said, that's great. And he said, so, he said that he put a new clutch in it, and he said, that he did this and he put the new seals on here. I don't know personally if he did it or not. So he said, so I'm going to just, take off the price for the new clutch, and I'm going to take off the price for all this other stuff. And we're like, that is just great, So we said, all right, well, this is going to be a problem. So, he discounted probably we got thank God the heater's turned off. So we probably got 60% off this stuff, and we're like, this is not good, and as soon as we took it home, we could automatically tell that it didn't have a new clutch in it. In fact, even he said, I don't think he put a new clutch in it, I think he just took some cleaner and sprayed it down. And just to know, he was fired, but we went ahead and we got the truck home, and we parked it in the driveway for probably not even 10 minutes, and came back outside, and there were puddles under it. And I'm not talking little drips here and there. I'm talking drips like this everywhere. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Every single thing that this guy touched, every single thing that holds fluid other than the brake system was leaking. Everything from the front axle, the transmission, the transfer case, the fuel injector pump, what else was, every single thing that held fluid was leaking on this truck. And the fuel injector pump leaked probably 5 times worse than it did before. So we went ahead and called this guy up and said, okay, dude, every single thing that you did is pouring out fluid. And he said, okay, well, bring me the truck back, I'll fix it. And we said, no, I just want my money back. And, sure enough, he said, all right, I'll give you the money back, it's no big deal. So we ended up getting that, and we went ahead looking for more shops around here, and there's a very reputable, 5-star diesel truck repair shop around here. And we went ahead and gave him a call, and really nice service, they had a secretary answer the phone and all that stuff. We're like, this is kind of nice. So we went ahead, and as soon as we told him it was a deuce and a half, the guy was like, that's a deuce and a half? He's like, I used to work on those in the military. And everybody was so excited to have it down there. So we brought the truck down, and what we had them do is fix all the leaks, go ahead and redo the fuel injector pump again. And also the other thing that was wrong that he did is, and I'm not a professional in diesel trucks, so if I'm saying something wrong, just don't worry about it. But apparently the fuel injector pump acts as your fuel pump and your distributor sort of as well. you know, it times when fuel is supposed to be fired in each cylinder. And if you don't have it clocked right or timed right, it won't run right. And sure enough, he didn't time it right. So the truck, it idled like it had a huge cam in it. You know, it had this huge cam lope, and we were like, that is not right. So, you know, we told him about that, and he did all that. And, you know, we also, we didn't have him do the transfer case. No, we had a transmission shop do the transmission of that, but I'll get to that later. But, you know, we had this guy fix all the leaks and all that. And when we got the truck back in 2 weeks, and the guy said, it's all done. We're like, really? So we went ahead and picked the truck up, and sure enough, all the leaks were done. And he said, you're not going to believe this, but you want to know what was wrong with the fuel injector pump? And we're like, what? And he said, the guy didn't tighten the hose clamps to it. So there were two high pressure lines that were going into the fuel injector pump, and the guy just never tightened the hose clamps. So that's why it was dripping so bad. So we went ahead and, you know, he fixed all that up, and just really nice guys down there. And he said, hey, I hope you don't mind, but we took some pictures with it. You know, and they had their whole, you know, team out there. They were taking pictures with it. So we said, yeah, that's no problem. So, and then after we got it back from there, we called up our local transmission shop. Again, really nice guys. They've been here since before my dad was born. And went ahead and brought it down there. And they used to work on all the City of Toledo trucks out here. So, you know, really good guys, and they went ahead and fixed the transmission and the transfer case, went ahead and rebuilt the whole thing. And I'm not sure if you noticed before, I may have not shown an underbody video of the truck, but the transmission was like bright red while everything else was drab green. So they went ahead and even got some drab green paint and painted the transmission and transfer case. So everything just looks perfect under there. And I think there may still be, unfortunately, one small drip on the fuel injector pump. I'm not sure, because, I mean, everything under there was so soaked that we really couldn't even tell. But, you know, the guy, excuse me, that we brought the truck to get that fixed the second time, he didn't even take the injector pump off because, you know, he saw the fuel lines were loose and said, all right, well, you know, we'll just tighten that up. And so, you know, it may just have a really small leak on it. And I've kind of learned that, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal, so we're just going to live with that. But anyway, so that is with that. And then, you know, like I said, the transmission shop. And that's where it was a couple weeks ago while my grandpa was in the hospital. And he had it done in about a week, and we weren't able to pick it up. So, like I said, we got it back last week, I think, or the week before. And it's basically sitting in the shop. And I was going to do this video in the shop, but unfortunately, you know, I think they have some sort of teacher meeting going on over there today, so like they have a bunch of cars in there, and I was like, I'm not even going to do this today. So anyway, we will be getting the truck out tomorrow, which is Friday, or no, tomorrow's Thursday, Thanksgiving. We're going to get the truck out Friday and go ahead and do that. Sorry, my camera is out of focus. We're going to go ahead and get the truck out Friday and go move some stuff from Grandpa's house. So I'll try to get some video, you know, of like us in the cab, and also, like I said, I'll try to do a time lapse of us actually getting the tarp on the truck, because, you know, I'm just trying to find stuff to do with the Deuce and a half. And also, I did get a couple more subscribers. So to those of you who did subscribe, thank you very much. And there's, you know, people are starting to comment on my videos, so thank you very much. Keep commenting. You know, keep liking, you know, and subscribing. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'm not trying to become, you know, a huge YouTuber or anything. I'm just trying to be able to share with you guys, you know, these cool things and be able to show you guys. So, but one thing that I do want you guys to do is go in the comment section and request something, a video, whether it's something here in the garage with the El Camino or the Willys or the Camaro, or the MG, or especially the Deuce and a half, because I know a lot of my viewers, like I said, are here for the Deuce and a half. So definitely go ahead and comment down below what you think I should make a video of. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions here. Well, opinions, you know, take that as you will. But you know, I'd like to hear what you guys want to see, and I'll do my best to get that video. And also with questions or comments, you know, if you have any questions about any of the cars in here, I'll do my best to answer them. And if I don't know, I'll ask Dad. So thank you guys for checking out this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Sorry, it was kind of a boring one. But, you know, I'm just trying to keep the channel going here. So anyway, I think that's going to do it. So thank you guys. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And go ahead and tell your friends. Thanks, guys.